Have you ever wondered why plants stand so tall and green, and while animals move and respond so fast? Well, the answer lies deep in their cell. So today we'll be treating a very fascinating topic, which is plant cell and animal cell. And in this video, I'll be breaking down the definition of cell. I will highlight similarities between the plant cell and the animal cell, and I will explain the key differences between the plant cell and the animal cell. And I will also show you guys a well-labeled diagram of the plant cell and animal cells. So by the end of this video, we'll be able to easily differentiate between plant cell and animal cell. So guys, before we dive in, if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe now as we get started. And what we'll be starting with is definition of cell. So what's cell? Cell is the functional and structural unit of life. This is the structural, functional, and biological unit of life. Unit of life. So cell is not only the cell is the smallest, it is also the smallest, it is the smallest unit of life that can carry out all processes in living organism. So the cell is the structural, functional, and biological unit of life. It is also the smallest unit of life that can carry out all processes in living organism. Every living thing is made up of cell. We have single cell and we have multiple cell. We have single cell and complex cell. So every living thing is made up of cell. I want you guys to know that every living thing is made up of cell, which include the unicellular, which is single cell, which include the unicellular, which is the single celled organism, and the multicellular, which include the complex cell organism. An example of unicellular organism or single cell organism is bacteria. Single cell example is bacteria. So single cell example is bacteria, and we also have multicellular example. Multicellular organism include human beings, are example of multicellular organism, while unicellular organism, which is also known as single cell organism, consists of bacteria and other microorganisms. So guys, we are done with the definition of cell, and we talked about that cell is the structural, biological, and functional unit of life, and also explained that cell is the smallest unit of life that can carry out all processes in living organism. And also I explained that cell consists of single cell, which is also unicellular, and multi-cell, which is also complex. Human belong to complex. So guys, we are done with definition of cell. Definition of cell, cell definition for those that are jotting notes down. So we are done with definition of cell. So now we'll be moving to the next subtopic, which is the similarities between plant cell and animal cell. So let's continue. So guys, now we'll be treating the similarities between plant and animal cell. But before we dive into it, cell consists of two types based on the classification of structure. Cell consists of two types based on the classification of structure, which include the plant cell and the animal cell. And both plant cell and animal cell are both eukaryotic. They are both what? Eukaryotic, and they are membrane-bound organisms. They are membrane-bound organisms. So now, since we know that cell type based on classification of structure consists of both plant cell and animal cell. So let's dive into the similarities between plant and animal cell. Similarities is what is in plant cell that's also in animal cell. So I'll list some of it for you guys. So both plant and animal cell have nucleus. Both plant cell and animal cell have nucleus. And what is nucleus? What is the function of nucleus? Nucleus is the control center of the cell. It controls all the activities in the cell. So we also have another, which is both plant and animal cell have cytoplasm. And what's cytoplasm? Cytoplasm is a gel-like structure where all organelles are being suspended. I hope you understand that now. We also have another one, which is mitochondria. Both plant and animal cell have what we call mitochondria. mitochondria. They both have mitochondria. And what is the function of mitochondria? Mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell. It is the powerhouse of the cell. It is one that powers the cell. So the next one is ribosome. Both plant and animal cell have ribosome. And what's ribosome? Ribosome is the site for protein synthesis. It is the site where protein are being synthesized. So the next one is, which is the last one under the subtopic similarities between plant and animal cell, is both plant and animal cell have what we call cell membrane. They both have what we call cell membrane. So they both have what we call cell membrane. And what is the function of cell membrane? Cell membrane is the one that controls what enters or goes out of the cell. It controls what enters or goes out of the cell. So now we are done with the similarities between plant and animal cell. We've done the definition of cell where I talked about the single cell and the multicellular organism, and I also talked about the type of cell based on classification of structure, which consists of both plant cell and animal cell. So now we are done with similarities between plant and animal cell, where I also explained that both animal and plant cell have nucleus, cytoplasm, mitochondria, ribosome, and cell membrane. So guys, we are done with two. So we are now left with the key differences between plant and animal cell. That is the main one we are going to in this video. The main one is the differences between plant cell and animal cell. So after that, I'll be showing a well-detailed diagram on both plant cell and animal cell. So guys, let's move to the next one, which is differences between plant cell and animal cell. And if you are watching this video up to this moment, subscribe now if you haven't do that, and hit that like button. So guys, let's continue. So now we'll be diving into the differences between plant cell and animal cell. Earlier we talked about the similarities when I mentioned that both cytoplasm, nucleus, mitochondria, ribosome, and cell membrane are they are both in both animal and plant cell. And there are also two which I didn't mention, and the two is endoplasmic reticulum and Golgi apparatus. For those following me, I didn't mention endoplasmic reticulum and Golgi apparatus. Both endoplasmic reticulum and Golgi apparatus are both present in plant and animal cell. So guys, let's dive into this. Plant cell and animal cell. Number one is cell wall present. In plant cell, cell wall is present, but in animal cell wall is absent. Cell wall is absent. So the second one is starch granule. Starch granule. Starch granule is present. Starch granule is present in plant cell, but starch granule is not in animal cell. We have glycogen. Glycogen. Glycogen is the one that represents the starch in plant cell. So glycogen is present. Glycogen is present in animal cell. So the third one is one large central vacuole present. One large central vacuole present. Once I'm treating the diagram, I will explain this to you guys. Once I show you the diagram of plant cell, you will see the large central vacuole that is present in the plant cell. And in animal cell, we have small vacuole, or sometimes you don't have vacuole. In animal cells, small or absent. Small or absent vacuole. Small or absent vacuole. See that small or not even present. And the fourth one, we have centrioles absent. Centrioles absent. Centriole is absent in plant cell, and the function of centriole is that it helps in cell division. And for animal cell, centriole is present. It is present in animal cell, but it is absent in plant cell. As you can see, I've listed 4, and only one is present in plant cell, in animal cell, and the other is present in plant cell. So it's very easy to memorize. So the next one is chloroplast. So chloroplast is present. Chloroplast is present in plant cell, while chloroplast is absent in animal cell. Chloroplast is absent in animal cell, while chloroplast is present in plant cell. Animal cell does not have chloroplast, and they don't need it because they are dependent. They can't derive their nutrient by themselves. They are heterotrophic organisms, while plant cells are autotrophic. Autotrophic means those that can manufacture their food by themselves using photosynthesis in the presence of sunlight, while animal cells don't have it, and they can't manufacture their food by themselves. They depend on other organisms to feed. They feed on other organisms. So now we've treated the definition of cell. We've highlighted the similarities between both plant cell and animal cell, and we've identify the key differences between animal cell and plant cell. So now I'll be showing you guys the well-detailed label diagram of both plant cell and animal cell. Stay tuned guys and let's learn together. Let's label this diagram together. This is a diagram of plant cell. So after we are done with this, we go forward to label the animal cell. So let's first label this side before we move to the other side. So let's start from here. So this part is the cell wall. It is the cell wall. And as I am identifying the diagram, I'll be telling you the function of each diagram, of each organelle. So I will also be making a video on all the cell organelle and their functions. So I'll be making a video soon. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe now. I'll be making a video soon on cell organelle and their function, which I will explain in detail. So this is the cell, and what it does is that it gives support and structure to the cell. So cell wall gives support and structure to the cell. And the next one is the Golgi apparatus. This one here that you can see right here is the Golgi apparatus. And what it does is that it packages protein in the cell, packages it. And the next one is the chloroplast. And so this is the chloroplast, guys. And what it does, chloroplast is an organelle that is responsible for photosynthesis and are found in plant cell, as you can see it right here. So the next one is the vacuole. So this is the vacuole, guys. As you can see, when I'm telling you the differences between plant cell and animal cell, I hope you can vividly remember that I mentioned one large central vacuole. So this is the vacuole, and you can see it is central. It is in the central. So this is the one large central vacuole, and it's part of the component of the plant cell, as I described earlier when I am explaining the differences between plant cell and animal cell. So the next one is amyloplast. So amyloplast stores starch. What it does is that it stores starch. And the last one in the left hand side is the cell membrane. This is the amyloplast located here. This is the vacuole, and this is the I didn't mention this place. This side, this organelle is the Raphael crystal. Raphael crystal. So what it does is that it stores waste. And this is the amyloplast which stores the starch. And cell membrane, this is the part. And cell membrane is the one that controls what enters or goes out of the cell. As you can see it controls what enters or goes out of the cell. So guys, we are done with this part. So let's label this part before we can call it a well-labeled diagram of plant cell. So let's start from here. This part is the cytoplasm. And what it does, the function of cytoplasm, and cytoplasm is a jelly-like structure that suspend organelles. It suspends organelles. That is the function of cytoplasm. It's a jelly-like structure that suspends organelles. And this organelle is the Druce crystal. The function of Druce crystal is that it stores waste. I explained the other time that the Raphael crystal store waste. No, it is the Druce crystal that store waste. I'm sorry for the mistake I made earlier. The Druce crystal stores waste, while the Raphael crystal it defends the plant cell against mechanism like herbivore. That's the function of Raphael crystal. Why Druce crystal stores waste? This is the mitochondria. This part is the mitochondria, and what it does is that it functions as the powerhouse of the cell. It's the one that powers the cell. And this part is the So this part is the endoplasmic reticulum. Is the endoplasmic reticulum. While this part here, this part side here is the nucleolus. Nucleolus. So for endoplasmic reticulum synthesize both protein and lipid. We have two types of endoplasmic reticulum. We have the SCR, which is the smooth endoplasmic reticulum, and we have the RER, which is the rough endoplasmic reticulum. The rough endoplasmic reticulum synthesize protein, while the smooth endoplasmic reticulum synthesize lipid. For nucleolus, nucleolus is the ribosome factory. When I say ribosome factory, I mean it's the one that produces ribosome. Nucleolus produces ribosome. That's the function. And we also have nucleus. Yes. You see this part is the nucleus. As you can see, this part is the nucleus, while the one inside is the nucleolus. So the last one here is the ribosome. Ribosome. Wait, we have one here which I missed. Sorry, guys. This one here is the peroxisome. Peroxisome. While the last one is the ribosome. So what's the function of peroxisome? Peroxisome break down fatty acids in plant cell, while ribosome is the site for protein synthesis, and ribosome is produced by nucleolus. I hope you understand now, guys. So now let's move to the diagram of animal cell. But before we do that, let's name this diagram. So this is a well-labeled diagram. A well-labeled diagram. A well-labeled diagram of plant cell. A well-labeled diagram of plant cell. As you can see, guys. So now, if you are watching this video up to this moment and you haven't subscribed, please subscribe now and hit that thumbs up as we move to animal cell. Stay tuned and keep learning. So guys, this is the diagram for animal cell. So guys, let's label it together. Let's start from here. So this is the lysosome. This is the lysosome, and this is the microtubule. Microtubule. This is the lysosome. This is the microtubule. These two are microtubules, and the function of lysosome digests waste and worn out cell in animal cell. Digest waste and worn out cell. So for microtubules shape and structure the cell in animal cell. Why this that look like star shape is called the centrosome. Centrosome. And what it does is that it helps in cell division. And this thing that look like love shape inside it is the centriole, which aids in cell division. And we also have the vacuole. As you can see, in animal cell we have small, as you can see, it's very small, unlike plant cell that the vacuole is very one central large. As you can see, when I am identifying the diagram in plant cell earlier, the vacuole is very big, unlike animal cell that is having a very small vacuole. And the next one is the ribosome. Ribosome is the site for protein synthesis. This is the site for protein synthesis. And the next one is the RER. That's the rough endoplasmic reticulum. Earlier, during the identification of the diagram for plant cell, I talked about the type of endoplasmic reticulum, which we have the two. RER and SCR. The RER stands for rough endoplasmic reticulum, and the SCR is the smooth endoplasmic reticulum. The function of RER is the protein synthesizes protein. Rough endoplasmic reticulum synthesizes protein in ribosome. Because ribosome is the site for protein synthesis. And the next one, we have the peroxisome. This is the peroxisome right here. The peroxisome, it breaks down lipid. Peroxisome break down fatty acid. And the next one is mitochondria. And the function of mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell. So guys, let's move to the next part. So let's start from here. This part is called the cytoplasm. It is a jelly-like structure that suspends organelles in the cell. So let's move to the next one. This is the Golgi vesicle. And here we have the Golgi apparatus. And what it does is that it packages protein. And the next one we have the SER. SER is the smooth endoplasmic reticulum. It synthesizes lipid. Because it does not have ribosome, unlike the RER, which possess like ribosome. While the next one is the nucleus. We all know what nucleus is. And for those that don't know, nucleus is the control center of the cell, and it controls all the activities in the cell. I have mentioned that many times today. While this one here is the nucleolus. Nucleolus produces ribosome. And the next one we have the chromatin. Function of chromatin is the storage of genetic information. It stores genetic information. As you can see, the chromatin, this is the chromatin. Why this is the nucleolus and this is the nucleus. I hope you understand better now. So the last part is the cell membrane. It controls what goes out and what enters into the cell. I hope you understand now, guys. So guys, we'll be diving into the last part, which is practice question. We've done introduction to cell, highlight similarity between plant cell and animal cell. We've talked about the key differences between plant cell and animal cell, and we've used, with the aid of diagram, we've done plant cell and animal cell. So guys, let's label this animal cell. You can now name it a well labeled diagram. Of animal cell. If you are asked to draw a diagram and label it, don't forget to add the name. Once they ask you to draw and label a diagram, don't forget to add a well labeled diagram of so thing. Maybe it's plant cell, maybe it's animal cell, maybe you have to draw a mitochondria, or you have to draw a nucleus, or you have to draw any organism. Don't forget to add a well labeled diagram of the organism, because they do mark the title. Don't forget to add, they do mark the title. So we are done. So guys, let's move to the next one, which is practice question. Stay tuned and let's solve it together. So these are the practice questions, and it will be 5 practice questions. So will be treating for, and I'll be leaving the remaining one for you guys to solve. And make sure you drop your answer in the comment section. So question 1, which of these is found plant cell but not in animal cell? Which of these is found in plant cell but not in animal cell? A. Nucleus, B. Mitochondria, C. Chloroplast, D. Cytoplasm. So in plant cell, we can find the nucleus, we can find the in plant and animal cell, we can find the nucleus. In plant and animal cell, we can find the mitochondria, as I explained earlier. In plant and animal cell, we can find the cytoplasm. But in plant and animal cell, we can only find chloroplast in the plant cell, not in animal cell. So chloroplast is the correct answer. So this question is very simple. If you are very attentive when I'm teaching you, if you are very attentive during my teaching, you should be able to answer this question correctly. Question 2. Which structure controls what enters and leaves the cell? I hope you remember the answer. I hope you remember the function. When I'm explaining it, I said the correct answer is, it is the cell membrane that controls what enters and leaves the cell. I explain it both in plant cell and in animal cell with the aid of diagram. Question 3. The cell wall provides what to the plant cell? The cell wall provides what to the plant cell? A. Digestion, B. Structure and support, C. Respiration, D. Photosynthesis. I said earlier when identifying diagram of plant cell that the cell wall provides support and structure to the plant. So structure and support is the correct answer. This question is supposed to be a bonus question if only you followed all my teaching and you are very attentive. Question 4. Both plant and animal cells contain which of the following? A. Cell wall, B. Chloroplast, C. Vacuole only, D. Nucleus. So both plant and animal cells, both plant and animal cells don't contain cell wall. It is only plant cell that contains cell wall. For chloroplast, for only plants. For cell wall, only plant cell. For chloroplast, only plant cell. For vacuole, sometimes animal cell possess vacuole, like the drawing I gave earlier. And animal cell possess vacuole, but it's either it's very small or sometimes it is absent. Sometimes they don't have a vacuole. So it is you can't go for vacuole. The correct one is nucleus. Nucleus is the correct answer. Both animal and plant cell possess nucleus. So guys, wait, don't go anywhere. I will drop the question which I want you to drop the answer in the comment section. Attempt this yourself and drop your answer in the comment section. That's the instruction. So I want you to drop your answer in the comment section. Question 5. Which organ is responsible for photosynthesis? A. Mitochondria, B. Nucleus, C. Chloroplast, D. Ribosome. So think about it and drop your answer in the comment section. So guys, we've come to the end of this video. For those still watching up till now, you really tried and you are ready to learn. Thanks for watching up to here, and I know by now you should be able to differentiate between plant cell and animal cell easily without mixing things up. You should be able to know the function of all the cell components in plant cell and animal cell by now. So guys, we've come to the end of this video. See you in the next one. Keep studying, keep learning. Bye guys.